The Dare. One night, a young girl threw a party and invited all of her friends. As the night went on, they began telling scary stories. One boy said he heard a legend about an old graveyard that was located near the girl's house. According to the story, an old woman had been buried in the middle of the cemetery, and there were rumors that she was a witch. They said that if someone stood on her grave at midnight, she would grab them and drag them down to hell. "I would never go near a graveyard after dark," the boy said. "You're all a bunch of morons," laughed the girl who owned the house. "It's just a silly superstition. I can't believe you take it seriously." The boy who told the story turned to her and sneered. "It's all well and brave when you're safe and warm in your own home. I think you'd have a different attitude if you actually went to the graveyard." "It wouldn't make a difference," replied the girl. "Fine. Then prove it," said the boy. "We'll all go down to the cemetery and wait outside while you go and stand on the old witch's grave." "A grave doesn't scare me. I'll do it right now." "You'll have to prove you really did it," said the boy. "Otherwise, you might chicken out." He took a knife from the kitchen drawer and handed it to her. "Stick this knife in the grave," he said. "Then we'll know if you were there for sure." The group of kids set out for the graveyard, and when they reached the old iron gates, they gathered in a circle. All of them stared at the girl. She tried to pretend she wasn't scared and hoped they didn't see her shivering in fear. With the knife clutched tightly in her hand, the girl walked through the iron gateway and made her way through the dark graveyard. Eventually, she came to the old woman's grave. "There's nothing to be scared of," the girl told herself. "It's just a stupid story." Crouching in front of the headstone, she whispered, "I'm not afraid of you." Then she raised the knife above her head and thrust it into the earth. "Take that, you old witch," she chuckled. The girl was about to turn around and leave when she felt something holding her back. She couldn't move. Something was tugging on the hem of her dress, dragging her down. She was filled with terror and flew into panic. "Help!" she cried. "She's got me! She's got me!" When she didn't come back, her friends began to get worried. After a while, they cautiously entered the graveyard to look for her. They found her sprawled out on the old woman's grave. She was dead, and her face frozen in a silent scream. Without realizing it, she had plunged the knife into her skirt and pinned it to the ground. Her own knife had been holding her. The end.